There are plot twists, and then there's this plot twist. The kind of moment that doesn't just change the movie you're watching, it changes every movie you've ever watched after it. You're sitting there, popcorn halfway to your mouth, and Darth Vader drops the 4 words that make you forget how to breathe. No build-up with dramatic music, no flashing lights, just pure, quiet devastation, delivered like it's no big deal. And instantly, the entire galaxy shifts under your feet. The craziest part is that nobody saw it coming. Not the audience, not most of the cast, maybe not even Mark Hamill, until 5 minutes before filming. Luke walks into that fight thinking he's the plucky young hero here to save the day, and Vader is just the bad guy he has to beat. But then the duel turns into this slow dismantling of everything Luke thought was true. And before you know it, the guy he's been trying to kill is telling him they share DNA. And can we talk about how terrible the timing is? Like, Vader couldn't have brought this up over dinner. Maybe sent a holo message. Maybe not, after chopping off Luke's hand. It's the equivalent of telling someone you're their long-lost father, right after you've keyed their landspeeder. Obi-Wan doesn't get a pass, either. His whole from a certain point of view excuse feels like Jedi speak for I didn't feel like explaining it. Everyone's holding on to the truth like it's some VIP club password, and Luke's the last to get in. The weight of that truth just crushes him. You can see it on his face. This is not the victorious hero shot. This is a kid realizing his dad isn't a war hero, but the galaxy's top villain. All those stories, all that hope, gone in an instant. And when he falls literally off that ledge, it's not just physical. It's the emotional freefall of someone who has nothing solid left to hold on to. But the thing is, even in that moment of pure devastation, something sparks. Because Vader doesn't kill him. He tries to recruit him. That means there's something in Luke worth keeping alive. Something Vader can't bring himself to destroy. And maybe, just maybe, that's the crack in the armor that Luke can use later. It's tiny, but it's enough to change how he sees this whole fight. In this video, we're going to break down exactly why I Am Your Father still stands as the most iconic twist in movie history. We'll look at how the scene was built, how it changes the entire saga, and why it's not just a shocking reveal, but the emotional core of Star Wars. From the choreography to the psychology, from the acting to the cultural impact, we're diving deep into the moment that left audiences speechless and turned Darth Vader into something far more than just the villain in a black helmet. It's the line that stopped the world in its tracks. 4 simple words that rewired the way we think about storytelling. I Am Your Father wasn't just a twist, it was a narrative earthquake that reshaped the entire Star Wars saga. And the best part is, hardly anyone outside of a tiny circle on set saw it coming. Not even the cast fully knew what was about to be dropped on them. Think about the setup. Luke Skywalker, fresh from training with Yoda, marches into Cloud City, ready to prove himself. He's got the heroic music swelling in our heads, the kind that makes you believe he might actually stand a chance. Vader's there waiting, cool as ever, like a man who knows the answer to a question Luke hasn't even asked yet. And every swing of the lightsaber feels like it's building to something. The fight itself is personal in a way we hadn't seen before. No massive armies, no blaster fire, just 2 people locked in a duel that feels like it's happening on the edge of the galaxy. There's an intimacy to it, like every blow is a conversation, every parry a carefully chosen word. And the whole time we're wondering, why is Vader so interested in this kid? By the time Vader starts pressing him back, it feels like Luke is one wrong step away from disaster. The blue glow of his blade looks almost fragile compared to Vader's heavy, deliberate strikes. And then comes the moment, cornered, battered, and breathing hard. Luke hears the truth that changes everything. It's the kind of reveal that makes you want to rewind the whole saga in your head, looking for every hint you might have missed. But here's the thing, this moment also comes with a big dose of frustration. Because let's be honest, Vader had about 100 opportunities to tell Luke sooner. Instead, he waits until after he's cut the guy's hand off to drop the family news. Real classy parenting there. It's like telling someone you're their long-lost uncle right after you've flipped over their Monopoly board. And you know what really stings? Luke could have been spared a lot of pain if Obi-Wan had just been honest with him. All that from a certain point of view stuff suddenly feels like the Jedi version of a legal loophole. They talk about destiny and the will of the Force, but apparently the will of the Force also includes selective truth-telling. From a storytelling perspective, it's brilliant. But from a character perspective, it makes you want to grab Obi-Wan and Vader by the cloaks and say, you know, you could have avoided half this drama with a conversation, right? Imagine Luke finding out in a calm moment instead of in a moment of life or death combat. Maybe he'd have processed it without screaming into the abyss. Once the shock wears off, the sadness of that moment really hits you. Luke isn't just hearing that his greatest enemy is his father, he's realizing that his entire understanding of his life has been a lie. All the stories about Anakin Skywalker, the hero pilot and Jedi Knight, crumble instantly. And in their place is Darth Vader, the man who destroyed everything Luke thought was worth fighting for. You can see the grief hit him in waves. First, there's disbelief, that desperate shake of the head, as if he can just reject the idea out of existence. Then there's the pain, not just from his severed hand, but from the collapse of the moral universe he's been living in. And finally, there's that hollow, hopeless acceptance that nothing will ever be the same again. It's tragic because Luke's journey up to that point has been about becoming the hero his father supposedly was. And now he's forced to accept that the man he idolized is the man he's been sworn to defeat. The dream of restoring his family becomes impossible in the same moment it becomes unavoidable. The visual of him clinging to that weather vane after he lets go is more than just a cool shot. It's the image of a person who's lost his grip on everything that gave him purpose. Alone, hanging above an endless drop, cut off from everything familiar, it's as much emotional freefall as it is physical. That's the hidden cost of the reveal. It doesn't just shock us, it leaves Luke broken in a way that can't be easily healed. But then, you have to take a step back and appreciate just how masterfully this moment was built. The duel on Cloud City isn't just another fight, it's a cinematic pressure cooker. The set design is haunting, with steam hissing from vents, catwalks stretching into nowhere, and lighting that turns every movement into a silhouette against an otherworldly glow. It feels like a dream you can't wake up from. The choreography is deliberate, almost restrained. Vader isn't trying to destroy Luke, he's testing him, pushing him, breaking him down piece by piece. That makes every strike feel heavy with meaning. And when the truth comes, it feels inevitable, like the last piece of a puzzle clicking into place. And the line itself, simple, understated, but delivered with the weight of the galaxy. No swelling music, no dramatic camera shake, just James L. Jones's voice, dropping a truth bomb with absolute certainty. It's a lesson in how to make a moment powerful without overselling it. What's even more incredible is how it instantly reframes the entire trilogy. Suddenly, every past interaction with Vader becomes loaded with subtext. Every future encounter is shaped by this revelation. It's not just a twist, it's a story engine that changes the trajectory of everything that follows. You walk away from it not just impressed, but stunned at how perfectly it all clicks together. And yet, even in the middle of all that darkness, there's a spark of hope. Because while Vader's offer is tempting, on a surface level, join me, overthrow the Emperor, rule the galaxy, it also tells us something important. Vader sees something in Luke, something strong enough to make him change tactics from destroy to recruit. For Luke, that means the door isn't completely closed. As much as the revelation hurts, it plants a seed, the idea that Vader might not be beyond redemption, if the man who murdered his mentor and maimed him is still trying to connect. Even in a twisted way, maybe there's still a fragment of Anakin Skywalker left. And that's what makes the later films so powerful. Luke's refusal to kill Vader isn't just about rejecting the dark side, it's about believing there's still something worth saving. That belief starts right here, in the middle of this gut-wrenching betrayal. It's also a reminder that the Force works in mysterious ways. This could have been the end of Luke's story. But instead, it becomes the turning point that drives him to train harder, learn more, and confront Vader again with a new mindset. Hope in Star Wars doesn't always arrive with trumpets, it often sneaks in quietly, even in the shadow of the worst news imaginable. In the end, the I am your father moment is both a triumph of storytelling and a tragedy of family. It's the kind of reveal that gives you goosebumps, but also leaves you feeling hollow when you think about the characters living through it. For Luke, it's the death of innocence. For Vader, it's a calculated gamble to bind his son to him through fear, awe, and twisted connection. The tragedy is that this could have been a moment of reconciliation. Under different circumstances, it could have been a reunion instead of a weapon. But in the world of the Empire, truth is rarely used for healing, it's used for control, and Vader wields it like a blade. Yet there's resolution in knowing this moment didn't define Luke in the way Vader hoped. Instead of pulling him into darkness, it set him on the path to defy both Vader and the Emperor. It made him stronger, even if the journey there nearly broke him. And that's the bittersweet beauty of it. The very thing meant to corrupt Luke becomes the catalyst for his greatest strength. That doesn't erase the pain or the loss, but it does give meaning to it. In the end, it's not just a twist, it's the heartbeat of the saga. A reminder that truth can shatter, but it can also set the stage for redemption. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that share button. My main channel is Critical Analysis Hub, where I post Star Wars content about the movies. My secondary channel is Critical Analysis Hub Plus, where I focus on the shows of Star Wars. And my third channel is Critical Analysis Hub XP, where I post comic books. Be sure to take a moment and check them out. Thanks, and may the Force be with you.